I use the MyPillow text line as a great focus group. I get a lot of instant feedback, and I appreciate people who send me comments in real time to the Mike Gallagher Show. And I want to share with you two very different text messages I got. One from Long Island and one from North Carolina. And I mentioned the geographical location of both of the texters because I think it kind of applies. First of all, from Long Island, with this bombshell news about Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis, late stage, has metastasized, is spread to his bones. The medical experts are lining up left and right saying, well, they knew. There's no way this just happened. That, of course, leads to a reasonable conversation about what could be an epic scandal, that the American people were deceived for maybe a long time, all under the guise of keeping the Democrats in power. From the White House physician on down, there's a lot of people who have a lot of explaining to do. Having said that, we also shouldn't demonstrate vicious cruelty. And I was watching last night and monitoring social media, a lot of really hateful, horrible things being said. Oh, I hope he suffers, and I hope his whole family gets cancer, and he's terrible, and so I want him to suffer. And that's really dreadful. We shouldn't be like them. When the granny is walking around proudly displaying her "Is Trump Dead Yet" t-shirt, sure, that's disgusting, and yes, that's revolting, but it's also pitiful that an adult would behave that way. As Joe Piscopo often says, people on the left exhibit a vicious cruelty, a nasty lack of humanity. And that's not something we should embrace, in my view. But not everybody agrees. So let me give you two opposing views over this extraordinary cycle of news that we've been treated to over the last few hours, that Joe Biden evidently now has late-stage prostate cancer. Long Island, New York writes, "You guys are inhumane. Biden is suffering with cancer, and all you can do is use it for your own gain. This is disgusting. Remember, God sees everything. I ask that he would forgive you for this evil deed. I ask that he will teach you to have a heart and care about your neighbor and not just political or bias towards others. Would you want you or your relative to experience this? Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting." Now, to North Carolina. Mike, you are exactly what's wrong with the Republican Party. A bombshell of a story is about to come out and totally expose the Biden presidency and the Democrat Party. So the Democrats throw out a sympathy story about poor Joe, and you bite on it hook, line, and sinker. According to you, anybody who has committed evil to the American people, we should feel sorry for if they get terminally ill or die. Wrong. And then the texter suggests I do something that is anatomically difficult to do. It has to do with a portion of my anatomy that North Carolina believes is lacking. Which camp are you? Do you think that this revelation that Joe Biden has prostate cancer that has spread to the bone should now end any conversation about what might be one of the most massive cover-ups in the history of the country? I want to play a clip for you that's pretty bombshell considering the audience. It was MSNBC. Here's Dr. Zeke Emanuel on Morning Joe today, very calmly and confidently explaining how this didn't just get diagnosed. He believes that Joe Biden's prostate cancer has been with him for years.
You're an oncologist, obviously incredibly respected. You believe that it is likely, just for those just tuning in, you believe it is likely if this prostate cancer has spread to the bone that he could have had it for up to a decade, but certainly it's likely. Would it be fair to say it's likely to have had this for at least several years?
Oh, more than several years. You don't get prostate cancer.
So again, I just want to stop you. So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you are saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
If that is true, that dwarfs any scandal associated with January 6th, even Watergate. This will go down as one of the greatest political scandals ever perpetrated in America. One of the greatest deceits that our country has ever experienced. And somebody's got to be held accountable for this. Somebody has to have a reckoning. 800-655-MIKE, 13 past the hour. Whenever there is a bombshell story like this, I always turn to you, the smartest audience in the world.